Aloha and welcome back to our coverage of the two-gun Luau of 2021. We've moved on to what was for me stage 2, the rifle range. Yeah, no weird Hawaiian name for this one, but okay, whatever. Anyhow, at this point, we're on the rifle range. This is the longest range stage of the match. And what did you have to do? Well, here, take a look at the stage brief. And basically, you got to use the supports of the overhead or the railing as a rest, and you had 3 targets to engage at 100 yards, and then 2 at 200, and 2 all the way out at 300. Your 100-yard targets were swinging gongs, and your 200 and 300-yard targets had flashers on them. Once you engaged them, you moved over to a rooftop simulator that was literally an arm's length away. You got set on there and just re-engaged that target array. So 3 at 100, 2 at 2, and 2 at 3. Once you did that, you abandoned your rifle in a designated area, ran down to a shooter's box, and you made some 75-yard pistol targets against 2 pretty decent-sized targets, and then you had a third half-sized target that was for a 20-second bonus. You got 1 shot, and if you nailed it, 20 seconds off your time.
I love the weird in-rangey stuff.
Yeah, we might be working against me here.
Probably is. But I respect you all the more for it.
Okay, so, like in the first stage when the RO tells you got in-rangey weapons, you know you might be in trouble. When you step up to the firing line as you heard and he says you've made a bold choice, you know you're in trouble.
Stand by!
Well, since you're being kind enough to view this, I don't want you all to lose the will to live as you watch some not so exciting rifle shooting. So let me explain what's happening here. You see I've launched a bunch of rounds at the target until I get my first hit. And then I figure out what's going on. My red dot's no longer zeroed. I don't know how this happened because I zeroed the rifle about 2 years ago, took her out sometime last year, shot her and she was on, but now she's not. And I'm having to hold pretty hard over to the right to get the hits. Now at the 100, that worked out pretty good for me, you know, because once I got it on the first target, second target came a little faster, third target came pretty quick, went out to the 2, eventually got the first one, and then, yeah, it just wasn't happening. Time was running out. Moved on over to the rooftop simulator to try to not lose a bunch of points for failure to engage. Started going through that, wasn't getting what I needed to get. The RL told me 20 seconds left. So I just ditched the rifle, ran down to the pistol shooting box, engaged what targets I could until par. Not the most optimal outcome for this stage.
Just low! Just low and right! High! 90 seconds.
One time in a friend's house.
Low, center! Just low! About 6 inches.
Not on the first try.
Hey!
Like my job is playing here.
Yeah.
And I don't have really any clue where it's going to hit.
Looks left!
Small one, you were dancing all around. So,
I'm just moving too fast.
well, yeah. Probably more just like.
I want to consider doing this from the roof.
Yep, moving on.
Moving on! Got it! Hey Nick, why don't you use this next stage?
Oh, 1 target's down, okay.
Yeah, you already got that one. Just right.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
150.
I was so out of it.
Okay, yeah.
Move on and engage the pistol targets.
Yeah, I need to
Abandoning.
20 seconds. Shoot the other one. Alright, par.
Okay, so on this rifle is Sig Romeo 5 as my optic. Not the most high-end optic out there, matter of fact it's on the lower end, but still a pretty good solid optic and works fairly well. However, somehow this thing is not zeroed anymore. And as you can see, it didn't do me any good on this stage. But what's the real lesson to be learned here? Real lesson's right here. I have fixed front sight posts, but I didn't have a rear sight. And you know what? I placed a lot of faith in modern technology, and I didn't have a backup, and that was the mistake. Putting faith in technology was not the mistake. The lack of rear sight was the mistake, because when I realized this was off, all I had to do was turn it off, flip up a rear sight, and go to irons. That's if I had irons. So lesson learned on this one. I'm going to correct this problem, and this rifle will get a proper rear sight. Well, as I went into this stage, I kind of thought stage 1 was a dumpster fire and I had to do better. And I did do better in one respect. I proved it by having a bigger dumpster fire in stage 2. It makes stage 1 not look so bad. Anyhow, things do get better. So please tune in for tomorrow for stage 3.